So it really takes a special brand of stupid, but that's me. February 22nd rolled around, and that was my likely last day on the hill. And I headed off the hill and back home. Temperatures were in the mid-teens, and I had a goal in mind. I had to be in Utah in about 24 hours, and I had to break down my camper in temperatures in the mid-teens with a skirt that had been in place since October. And I knew that some water had gotten in underneath the skirt and refrozen. And you know how it is when water freezes to something. It's always interesting. So here we are with a couple of feet of snow all the way around the camper. And I just want to walk you through the process of what I went through to make this happen. This gives you a taste of what winter camping can be like. So this is just the other side of the camper. It's before I went through the breakdown process. This was not your normal breakdown from a brief camping trip. It's enough when you're stationed for several months, but when you're stationed for several months and it's 14 degrees out and you're trying to break things down, that's a whole different ballgame. So I decided to tackle the front piece of the skirting first. That's the quote-unquote spare room that attaches to the skirt. I've kept my bicycle in there and a whole bunch of other stuff during the winter. So removing it from the rivets and from the snaps was no big deal. But in this area here, and you might be able to see it, there's water that's on the ground, and the skirt was frozen to it, and it took quite a bit in order to make it come free. Nevertheless, a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of patience, and with no damage to the skirt, it came free, and I proceeded to continue the process. You can see here getting the side piece down. That went fairly smoothly. The back pieces were not so smooth. Now, when it came to the truck, I had to lubricate and clean out the hitch. It still was a little bit iffy when it connected to the truck, but it ultimately did connect to the truck. I, of course, was not sure that that was going to happen, but I was determined to make it happen on the afternoon of the 22nd in the quote-unquote warmth of the afternoon before the temperatures really plummeted, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So here we are. We did get the truck connected. I slid the slides in because there was more snow expected the following night, night of the 22nd into the 23rd. The one slide I left open was the one with the dining table in it. That way I'd be able to get into the living area in the morning, and I would only have to clean off that slide. Here's another shot of it. You can see the truck ready to go, the bicycle on the truck, the bicycle saying, "What am I doing here at the end of February?" And again, this is beginning to pull it forward. This is the next morning. This is now minus 10 degrees, so I'm actually trying to get out of the campground at minus 10 degrees, a couple of feet moving forward. There is a little bit of a hill that I had to climb to get up and out of the campground, and actually it turned out good that it was minus 10 because that makes the snow a little bit stickier, if you will, and that allowed me to climb up the hill. I made it out. I made it through the valley, successfully got down into Boise, headed down to Utah, and this is me standing in front of my cafe. Well, it's not really my cafe. It is Sill's Cafe, but it's in Layton, Utah. It's a great place for breakfast if you're ever looking for a great place for breakfast. Well, that's that, a unique brand of stupid.